obviously stood out to us. But Rocker now find themselves 0-5 in the split. And that's a guaranteed losers bracket.
Yeah, so they go from placing top 4 at the major, probably being our most pleasant, surprising team of the major, to now starting in losers bracket. And my worry for them is I feel like mentally they have to be just snowballing, going into this rabbit hole, because they're losing to teams that they think they should be beating, like Thieves, and it's weird to see this turnaround. I mean, we'll kick it off here with the control. I mean, we all saw this at 3v12. We all thought it was over. I mean, Seth literally called GG.
This is the first nail in the coffin for the Minnesota Rocker, at least right now. A 3 versus 12. How the fuck does this happen, Zin? It's happened to me in ranked play, so I could see how it happens, but how does it happen here?
Well, I will say, I mean, what's so punishing about this side specifically on offense is one wave of kills can win you the round, because then they're forced to come through yellow alley, or they take the long route around bottom green through the fountain, or they hop to jump over the dumpster. So really, our players make
great plays
and get the kills. I mean, to be honest, definitely a bit of a scam from Rocker to throw
Shotzzy
your
goes
lives
huge.
like that. Yeah.
Shotzzy goes huge. The boys just go massive. And again, Rocker can't really find their footing. And again, that's not the only play that we got here. Keep it on me, Riley. We're going to check out the sub-base map number 4, because realistically, let's not sugarcoat things, everybody. We should have lost this match.
I mean, just look at this right now. They are 9 points away from winning. The kill feed accuracy finds 2. Just based on the number game, Rocker should be able to find the trades and fend off our forces. Nonetheless, the boys clutch the fuck up again, thus leading to the Rocker breakdown.
Let's play the clip here. Let's get some volume on it. Yeah. You see Shotzzy. Everyone was freaking out about the Shotzzy spawn because he actually spawns on a natural pinch, and then the kills just start going our way.
W spawn
for us. People were not happy about it whenever it first happened, but then we get the first wave of kills because of that pinch spawn, and Rocker, again, if they win this match, we're really covering this, because if they win this match,
probably a different team.
In terms of morale, moving forward, it's just a completely different.
I'll die on the hill where it takes one match to make or break a team. If a team gets one crazy series win, it can catapult that team to a different level, and I think it works in the opposite way. I mean,
can take it off, Riley.
It looks like this series was what started this downward spiral for Rocker, and it's tough to see, because obviously we've been talking about Linz. Rookie of the Year potential, probably the front runner. Right now it's him and Gwyn. I kind of got to give the edge to Linz, at least still, but just be based on the team's performance at Major 1. But Rocker are entering a slippery slope where if they don't really start digging themselves out of this hole, first and foremost, they need to win the next 2 matches. I mean, you want to go into the Major, you're starting in losers bracket, but you want to win the next 2 and at least give yourself a bit of confidence and momentum going into the Major, because right now it's just...
Yeah, now it's losers bracket. Now it is not easy whenever you're obviously playing professionally. There's still 2 more weeks of qualifiers, and they are already mentally, they're in losers bracket.
Yeah.
They're in losers bracket, and they know it, and now we're going to have to see how much grit Rocker have as a team, because I think Rocker are a lot better than what we saw today. They lose the Thieves. We got to give some credit to Thieves. They played great. But I think Rocker's a lot better than what we've seen these past couple weeks. They've had the hardest strength of schedule. People aren't talking about that. They've had the hardest strength of schedule. They've played literally almost all the top teams. They've played what? They've played Toronto. They've played FaZe. They've played us.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had a hard schedule.
They've had tough matches, but, I mean, we can't sugarcoat it. Like, Rocker should be winning some of these series. They should have been able to close the match versus us. Granted, we clutch up. They should be, technically based on the team that we expect, they should be beating a team like Thieves. They should be beating a team like Boston. Like, we had Rocker in that 4th, 5th position, and now, I mean, you're kind of looking at Rocker as one of the worst teams. I mean, you kind of, you can't really keep giving them the benefit of the doubt.
It's hard to look at them like that.
Yeah.
It's really hard to look at them like that. Next one, we're not going to show any clips for this one, but we've got Miami versus Vegas, the reverse sweep. And I feel like that's another one of these instances where you see a team like Miami that had potential at the end of stage 1. Obviously, they look good online. They go to the LAN. They place poorly. They make a change for Eric Boom to Journey. They lose to FaZe. Then they play Vegas, get reverse swept, and now look at Miami as well. They're in the same boat.
Miami's fucking dog shit. And then And then you have Vegas.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They were the team getting reverse swept. They're the ones now doing the reverse sweeping. Standy gets dropped. Everybody's up in arms saying, why would you drop Standy?
Yeah.
And now Vegas is shoving it down everybody's throats because Vegas is actually performing.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas, Purge looks better on the SMG. You can talk about his individual inconsistency, but even with his individual inconsistency, we saw him make that game-winning play in their most recent series in maps 1 and 3. So, realistically, Vegas proving the world wrong. Nero's popping off. Vegas looks
Nero's
good.
been playing
Miami
great.
looks terrible. I mean,
Nero's
we have to put it bluntly. Miami post-dropping journey has been terrible.
Yeah.
The team cohesiveness isn't there. The dynamic isn't there.
This is the wrong match, Riley.
There was a point where everybody was worried to play Heretics, and now it's like, hell yeah, we're playing Heretics.
Yeah. Well, our last match that I wanted to talk about was the New York versus FaZe last map victory. Because now New York struggling. People were a little bit worried about them. At the major, they have a bad placing. Now, New York looking great again. They get a map 5 victory over FaZe. They're undefeated in this second split. New York starting to look like that powerhouse that we expected. People are on their ass, obviously with the switch from Sib to Priesta, or from Priesta to Sib, sorry. Now look at them, 5-0 in your major 2 qualifiers. New York starting to look like a contender again. And it was really only a matter of time for this team, in my opinion. They have too many great pieces to fail.
I mean, really, the story here was search and destroy. We heard it today in the Drazah interview. He said that he felt like their search and destroy was exposed, and it was. They lose 6-0 in a high-rise search map 2. And then map 5 was a bit closer. It was 6-4. But New York just outplayed FaZe in those search and destroys. But it looks like FaZe went back and sharpened some of their tools because they come out today in 3-0 Ultra, which we'll get to in a bit. And, of course, we have some tweets to talk about as well.
We do. Do we want to talk about those right now? I think we talk about them right now.
Listen, Drazah and Scrap made it personal. It went from in-game shit talk to an entirely different level. Once you bring the significant other into it, you got to be ready to put up your paws.
Once you bring the significant others into it, you are now...
They're name-dropping girlfriends. They're making claims. Drazah's Scrap's deleting tweets. His organization's probably like, fucking tone it down, delete
they are 100%
Drazah is tweeting him saying, don't delete your tweets, pussy.
Yeah.
And they're just going back and forth.
They are 100%. It's fake? Oh, it's not fake.
It's not fake.
It is not fake. If you think them talking shit like that is fake, you are out of your mind. They are going at each other's, I mean, again, significant others.
I mean, yeah, it's not even just personal. It's like beyond personal. Like you're bringing the girlfriends into it. It's going to be probably a career-long rivalry now. I mean, very rarely do you see that type of beef and then it gets like smoothed over with a handshake.
It is not scripted, guys.
It's not scripted.
I promise you, it is not. What the fuck? It is not the WWE, chat. That is not scripted. They were going at each other's necks. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
show the tweet. They're going at each other's necks, and then boom, they start taking personal shots. I mean, it's going to be everywhere. People are going to be talking about it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so go ahead, Zen. Break this down for us.
Scrap's girlfriend tweeted this, basically implying that Drazah's girlfriend's entire personality is based around her boyfriend's achievements. Scrap added fuel to that fire, claiming that Drazah's girlfriend DM'd a bunch of pros.
Dude,
so it got very, very personal.
There's a line, you know, there's always that gray area that you don't want to really get into or cross, and it's whenever, again, you bring it.
The line was fucking crossed.
The line was crossed.
The line was
100%.
crossed. It is beyond personal beef now. It is.
You want to keep everything shit talk related. You never want to go at somebody's looks. You never want to go at somebody's family members. Like, there's certain things that you don't want to go after. They did.
This is like WWE level drama. I mean, they really. And not to mention, it's 2 of the best teams in the world. So now every time you see FaZe and Ultra, there's going to be a little bit extra on it. And it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, at least for the community, obviously, every time there's drama involved, it's exciting. But holy fuck, they crossed the line today, and it's going to be...
Wait, is Ernie in here?
It's going to be...
Wait, what did Ernie say?
It's going to be a fun season between them.
Dude, Ernie, I don't know what Ernie said, but holy shit, I know that matchup is about to be crazy. Talk about COD? Hey, you got it, Ernie. We're right back on to COD. Talking about it, we've got the Miami Heretics taking on the New York Subliners in the match today. New York come out, they get another win.
Well, New York is back. We mentioned earlier, when it comes to like the Sib Priesta thing, everyone, when New York's performing, it's going to be like this double-edged sword where when New York's playing well, it's going to be like, oh, hell yeah, what a change. And when they're not playing well, it's like, oh my God, they need Priesta back. But I think everybody knew that New York wouldn't struggle at all for long. They had a tough major 1. To be fair, I keep saying to be fair. I need to stop saying it, but they run over the Heretics today. I'll say it again. Heretics look like shit, and New York look like their usual team again. So
New York looked great today, especially in the respawns. They come out, 155, 250 on sub base, 3-0 on the invasion control. I mean, New York looked really clean. The only map that's semi-close is the invasion search and destroy, and it goes 6-4. New York, man, I mean, they got to be a contender again. You got to throw them back in the pot.
Well, I mean, the top 4 teams, New York is back in the top 4, and Rocker has really fell from 4th to like probably 8th through 12th right now based on what we've been seeing. So top 4 teams respectively in no order, Ultra, FaZe, Optic, and New York Subliners.
Yeah.
The top 4 that we all expected coming into the season. But I think we should talk about the most exciting match, or at least the most anticipated match today, was the FaZe versus Ultra match.
Yeah.
Obviously, we went over the drama, but when it comes to the gameplay, I think most people, or a lot of people, had Ultra as the favorites because they were on this 12-game win streak. They're playing lights out. FaZe is coming off this Game 5 loss against Subliners, and FaZe just turned it up a notch today. We spoke about it earlier. It's like FaZe is inevitable in the point that they will, versus any team, they could just do what they did today.
Yeah. I mean, Toronto, they come out flat. FaZe, they come out firing. FaZe's guns look very hot. I want to give a special shout out to the AR duo on FaZe because they put on today, man. They came out, they played great COD, and besides the search and destroy, again, the respawns, FaZe just looked in control in both of them. And you saw Toronto, I mean, their demeanor, you see obviously Insight playing with a fidget spinner after map 2. It is an online match, so you can't really put too much into it. But at the end of the day, you can't take anything away from FaZe, man. They look great. And FaZe, again, they lose to New York in a Game 5 fashion. This is a big win for FaZe.
Big win for FaZe. I don't think Ultra's worried. Like, it's one of those things where, I mean, Ultra, those are all smart guys. They're a good team. They understand the threat that FaZe is. It's probably their biggest threat, they would probably admit. So, I wouldn't say...
They literally did. Drazah said in the interview after that he said it's really only us and Toronto. And he said
he thinks
everybody else sucks.
Well, he said, quote unquote, that Drazah thinks Ultra is ass. He also said he thinks New York is ass. He thinks everybody's ass.
He thinks everyone's ass.
And to be fair, I respect any competitor that wants to have that type of confidence.
Yep.
But FaZe turned it up a notch today, and then in our final match today, we saw Thieves versus Rocker.
Hold on. I do want to play the round 11 FaZe versus Toronto.
We got a clip.
I do want to break it down a little bit. We do have some gameplay clips. Again, we're trying to merge for anybody that's confused while we're trying to merge. We're trying to merge weekend review and deep dive just so it's a little bit more seamless.
And also,
so
once
clips
again,
from the series
we want your feedback. We want to know if this show specifically flows better than the prior shows. We do have a brand new segment coming up later. We're very excited for it. We know you guys love Rapid Fire. We actually have something exciting that's new on top of Rapid Fire and a brand new fun segment. So please let us know. But yeah, show us around 11. Abner.
Yeah, let's take a look at the round 11. Riley, bring it to me whenever you are ready. Let's take a look at the round 11 because it was a quick round. Taking a look, FaZe obviously breaking towards A, and both these teams were doing this a lot during this map. They'd kind of prodded A, see what the looked like from the defense, but FaZe just runs through a fucking smoke. I thought they were beat here.
This is the scary part.
Right here, I thought they were beat.
If Insight doesn't run away and tries to get out that door and he pre-aims, they probably, they at least probably get one kill and the round is salvageable, but FaZe, it's an all-out aggressive push. Kleenex is stuck boxes in a 3v1, especially when you're stuck boxes, or just in a small map like this in general, the trades are imminent, right? It's not like a map where you can get a pick on a lane and then finesse a lane. It's pretty or clear cut. So,
but again, this is
FaZe
one of those
win round 11.
That's one of those plays where it looks like you're at the disadvantage, but FaZe just make it work. And that's what they've been so good at. The Tiny Tears throw a smoke garage and they just run through it in a round 11. Like, that's something that you're just not reading. And I feel like it did kind of catch Toronto off guard. They end up losing the round, obviously. And if they win that round, you're not looking at a 1-1 series. It could be completely different. I know it goes 3-0 FaZe. We talk about a lot of hypotheticals, what could happen in a series. I'm just talking about sheer momentum. That round right there was pretty much the nail, and you could just tell once that third map started up, FaZe were firing again.
You're goddamn right.
But
next up,
last match of the day, we had the Rocker taking on the Thieves, and a little bit of an interesting one, man.
Riley, can we bring up the nade shot tweet because there was a little bit of extra mustard on this. Thieves go up 2-0, and kind of Tim the Tatman-esque. Nade shot takes to Twitter. He's been loving it recently.
Oh, he's been loving it.
Post-tweet, Rocker win 2 maps, and then things get hairy. We go into a Game 5. We saw an insane 1v3 clutch from accuracy, which Scump's going to show you shortly.
Yes, we will.
But everyone was saying, Nade, delete the tweet, blah, blah, blah. Ghosty replies, what is this? Why has it got close? L Jinx. Nonetheless, going into this matchup, me and you had Rocker as the favorites. We kind of gave Rocker the benefit of the doubt because
they've had a hard schedule,
They had a very tough schedule. Thieves barely beat a very bad Heretics in their current form, and we believed in Rocker, and we were proved wrong. Thieves clutch up map number 5. They get it done. Despite accuracy's miracle 1v3 clutch to keep it close.
Hey, I've seen 1v3 clutches from Lamar. I don't like seeing them. That one, I like seeing it. That was a good play out of Lamar. And actually, you can bring it to me right now. Let's show it before we actually get into the stats. Let's relive the 1v3 from Lamar that we just watched again.
This was beautiful, too. Just watch the timing as well.
It's a textbook Lamar clutch. Hold on. Let me actually give you guys some volume.
Well, here's why it got sketchy. It's because number 3 is in Narnia. And as soon as the guy cockpit dies, the guy on bombs, I mean, his hands are behind his back. It's like taking candy from a baby at that point. He's planting the bomb. It's a free kill. Then it's essentially a 1v1. And you can just see it in Lamar's gameplay. He's kind of like, okay, what the fuck do I do? Where is he going to be?
I thought he lost right here. Once he goes down these stairs, Nasty's coming. I mean,
look at Nasty's reply, man. Or look at Nasty's reaction.
And they still end up winning this map at the end of the day if you're the Thieves. And actually, let's actually fast forward just a bit. Riley, take it off for a second. While I do fast forward, we're going to go to whenever Kremp reads this 1v2 to close the series. But Thieves get it done. That's one of those rounds where your breath you lose your breath a little bit. Yeah. And it could have gotten ugly, but they do prevent it. Kremp goes large. Let me actually find it. Go ahead, Zen.
Well, while you get it queued up,
Got it.
I mean, it was the most recent clip we just watched. I mean, Kremp.
You can go ahead, Riley.
1v2. I mean, what a breath of fresh air over there in the Thieves camp. Because if he doesn't clutch this and you go 5-4, especially after getting 1v3, you're starting to worry. But Kremp finds one. He flies out and he just reads Wake. He's like, you know what? I think Wake's gonna come mid hall and look through the windows. He does. Look at there. I mean, you see the emotion from Vivid, and then on the contrary, Kremp getting up and getting hyped. So.
It's a great read out of Kremp. I mean, he finds the first, he reads the second. That's a pretty normal read, though. For everyone that does play this game pretty regularly, he knows that both of them push through their terminal side.
Yep.
He gets that call out. He knows that he's probably going to come back through mid-hall to check bomb. He's either going through mid-hall or he's going through terminal. Makes the read, 1v2 to close the series, shuts down the reverse sweep.
Headset users, we apologize.
Wait, why are they laughing?
We blame Riley. Yeah, Riley just gave you IMAX volume.
Oh, Riley just absolutely ear-fucked the chat.
Ear-fucked?
I mean, for lack of a better term, that's what he did, Zin.
God damn.
But, yeah.
That's a category I've never explored.
Okay. Thieves end up getting the win. Good on them, man. I mean, Thieves are starting to look better. They've got 2 wins in a row now, I believe. So Thieves climbing. And hey, Riley, one more clip. This has no relevance to anything that we've been talking about, but we got to show some love to the end game. We got to show some love to Purge. So let's play the clip. Sure, you guys remember it from the Boston.
I mean, everyone's been riding this guy. I mean, to be fair, he was getting harpooned, but nonetheless, he makes the game-winning play in map number 1 to contest P1, bring it to a P2. I feel like every time, by the way, every time we, are you all right? Are you fucking all right?
This fucking UI. Click around.
All right. Well, nonetheless, every time we see this where like a team bottles P1 and the other team that's losing wins rotation to P2, it feels like it's a guaranteed win.
We see it
They get the wave of kills, they spawn them in the back, and then they start slapping their ass. Just giving them slow taps.
Yeah, Purge. I mean, I just wanted to point this out because Purge has been under fire lately in terms of like his performance. I just wanted to give him some love because he does make the game-winning 2-piece on that P1. Without that 2-piece, this doesn't get to this point more than likely. He has no teammates in the position to help him out, and then they end up clutching up the map. And Vegas has been looking way better as well. Vegas is one of those teams that's turning the ship around.
There's something we can't deny, and it's that post-roster change, Vegas look like a completely new team. They're a strong search and destroy team. Me personally want to shout out Nero again because I think Nero, I mean, he's been a highlight reel. Every time we see him, it's a crack 2-piece, a crack 3-piece. Nero is just going above and beyond, doing everything he possibly can to will this roster to wins. Also, Attach going crazy. We'll talk about him in a bit. It's just Vegas are...
They're saying he's still meat, Purge.
Well, to be fair, he goes 35 and 25 map 3, and he top frags in map 3.
It's an inconsistency thing.
Once he finds that consistency...
He's got to find some consistency.
You got to realize, and we've heard listen-ins, I mean, he said it in his first post-game interview that he's their IGL. So he's a rookie. He's an IGL. He's switching roles. Like, there's a lot going on that we don't necessarily see. Like, it's very easy for us from the outside to look at his KD and be like, that guy's my hairy ass.
Yeah.
But he's making game-winning plays. The team obviously believed in him. I mean, like, the actual team and the coaches, they know more than us. And they decided to get rid of Standy for a reason instead of Purge.
Yeah,
so.
It's a little weird to me because a couple of people in the chat are saying it, but it is weird that he's the IGL of their team. I don't know what it is about it, but just from the outside looking in, it seems like he wouldn't be in that IGL role. But his teammates are vouching for him, saying he's doing a great job in the IGL role. So that stuff's important to a team, man. That stuff, a good IGL and someone with a good head on their shoulders, making good calls whenever shit gets hairy.
I agree, man.
It's important. Maybe he's not looking great statistically. The team knows more than us at the end of the day. We can only speculate what's going on. But we need to see some more consistency coming out of Purge. And I think Vegas, man, Vegas is they're starting to impress. They're starting to work their way up the ladder.
I mean, I have Vegas in top 6 right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I have New York back and forth. Top 6, I have Vegas. And I'm trying to think who else I would put in that top 6 right now. I need to look at a list of the teams.
What, you're saying who's in the top 6?
Yeah, like who else I'd put in the top 6 with them. Next segment.
It's not Seattle.
Oh, fuck no, it's
It's not Seattle. But our next segment, thank you guys, that's the weekend review. Let us know if you guys like that, sort of tying in some of the gameplay, into the actual breaking down of some of the matches. I like it better. You can let us know what you think. We're always open to criticism. But next up, we've got our Team of the Week. And here we go. Team of the Week. Pretty much speaks for itself. We're gonna be picking 4 players that impressed us a lot.
Just so you know, we can change this, and there is a player I want to change.
You do want to change somebody?
Yes, correct.
Well, let's hear who you want to change.
Oh, I want to.
Let's start off with who you want to change.
I want to remove Kleenex from the Team of the Week and add somebody else.
Okay.
I think that's fair. I think guys, originally we had Kleenex in the Team of the Week, but they beat Seattle, which I don't really give them much props for. We very much anticipate Toronto to just steamroll Seattle. Then they get 3-0'd by FaZe. So as good as I think Kleenex has been all year, I think putting him in the Team of the Week this year would be wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Or this week.
I agree. But let's start it off. I mean, chat, who do you think's first? I'm already seeing it in the chat.
It's Shotzzy.
Yeah, first on the list is Shotzzy. I mean, the kid, obviously, people are on Shotzi's, Johnny sometimes. Not all the time, because Shotzi's an unbelievable player. But people say statistically, sometimes he's all over the place. Not this weekend. The kid goes crazy. And I just want to say, in terms of input and just what he's doing for your team in the game, I think he dropped a 1.55.
1.55.
Or something in the series against Carolina. The kid went nuts. He drops the hard point kill record, which is now 43 kills on the Rio. He just looked great out there, man. And it's great to put him on the Team of the Week because I feel like we haven't had him on.
I have nothing to say. I mean, it was self-explanatory. I mean, he single-handedly, obviously, Preddy goes crazy too, but Ant breaks the record. To drop a 1.55 at the pace he plays is very rare. I mean, obviously, we've only seen players like Shotzzy, like Abizi, like these super talented SMGs do it. To no avail. Shotzi's in the Team of the Week. I'd like to introduce our next AR.
Yeah, go ahead.
I want to welcome Attach to the Team of the Week.
I played Attach in rank play today.
Attach has been playing unbelievable Call of Duty. He's been a lights-out, consistent AR for this rebounding Vegas roster. And it's good to see Attach. I mean, the kid's been in the league since we came up, and he's still out there doing it.
He's looked amazing this year. He's not just out there doing it. Attach has been, I say it a lot on the watch party, but Attach has been sort of one of those shining lights for this Vegas roster. They've had some roster changes. They've been all over the place in terms of performance, not performance. Now they're starting to perform. Dill's been pretty consistent throughout that whole stint.
Yep.
And now he's getting his flowers, man. Attach has been looking great for Vegas. And I'm excited to see how this team grows, honestly. Nero's been playing great. We got to give a special shout out to Nero. He's been playing amazing as well. But Attach is the one that stands out for me from the Vegas Legion. So shouts out to Attach and welcome to the Team of the Week. Would you like me to go next, Zin?
You got it.
All right, next up. Again, it's a bit of a controversial one. It's Drazah. It's kind of hard to not put him on this week. He went absolutely nuts. In terms of the slang in that Toronto versus FaZe series, it was really the ARs for me.
Yeah.
From the FaZe side of things. And Draz, he was doing his thing out there, man. He had a great series and got a little bit spicy afterwards. Again, we're not going to talk about it. Scrap asked us not to. But it got a little bit spicy. It got a little bit heated afterwards. Why are we getting tomatoes in the chat?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, listen.
How are you going to deny him on the Team of the Week?
Listen. I don't care if you like the guy personally. If you didn't like what you saw from him today, taking the personal side out of it, the kid was doing his thing. He goes crazy in all the game modes, specifically with that search and destroy, because it was the AR duo for this FaZe roster. It was Drazah and Cell, but Cell struggled a bit in the search and destroy while Drazah kept it consistent. So hate him or love him, the guy went off this weekend.
It looks like a lot of people
to
hate
beat
him right
Toronto.
now.
I mean,
we're getting tomatoes, and we're just. I mean, what are we considered? We're an outlet. But I think Drazah deserves to be on the team, regardless of anything that happened. I think Drazah's played great.
He played
I think
very
he's been
well.
playing great. Drazah's been looking great this year.
He played very well.
All right, since you wanted to switch our last player, go ahead, Zin.
I want to put in Hydra.
I'm never going to disagree on that one.
I want to put in Hydra. I think New York beating FaZe 3-2 was impressive. I think their win today was impressive. It's always a pleasure watching him play. I do feel like these past, or I guess like this year is the first time I feel like we've seen him be a little bit vulnerable, whereas like last year, the kid was like
not anymore,
consistently crazy. Well, he had a little stint where like Hydra wasn't out of this world, and now he's back to playing out of this world.
He looked human for once.
He goes absolutely crazy.
I know, Glaze.
Guys, we can only pick 4, so I want to give a special shout out to Nero again, because Nero goes crazy yet again, and it was a very hard choice mentally between Hydra and Nero. But I think Hydra, because specifically against that win versus FaZe, like that's what does it for me. Like beating that FaZe team 3-2, I feel like that was a huge series for them.
And not only that, if we go way back into the start of the split, they reverse sweep Carolina, and I believe their very first match of the split. Imagine that doesn't go that way. Imagine Carolina ends up squeaking that victory out over New York. There's so many of these little things that add up in a team season. And I'm going to go back and say that's one of them. I mean, Carolina, if they don't reverse sweep them, I think New York's not in the position they are right now either. But they get it done. Now they beat FaZe in a Game 5. Now they're 5-0. New York looking great. And obviously Paco, he's always going to be a huge part of that. He's got a 1.13 on the year. So, again,
you're damn right.
We say he looked human for a little stint. And that kind of blew our fucking minds because he's been unreal for that team. But that's our team of the week. What do you guys think, W or L? I know people didn't like Drazah, but
if you L this, you hate us.
Yeah, if you L this, you just hate us.
I feel like it's a tough one to argue with. I mean, all these players went above and beyond. But on top of the breakdown team of the week, we have Ultimate Duos. So now we get to pick.
We're getting more W's. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to Ultimate Duos. Well, now we pick a duo that we think went above and beyond.
I mean, chat. I think this one's a no-brainer. Actually, after today, it might not be a no-brainer.
Well, the reality is there's only 2 duos that come to mind. We made our decision before today.
Yeah.
So our ultimate duos are Pred and Shotzi. So Pred and Shotzi
I mean, this one, you guys, come on.
ultimate duos. I mean, they go absolutely ballistic. But you also have to mention Selim and Drazah today go absolutely crazy versus Toronto.
Optic bias. Yeah. Okay, I'll agree with last week. Last week, we may have had a little bit of a bias. This week, you can't deny it. I did just say it, though. After watching the series today, I would give an honorable mention to the AR duo from FaZe.
You have to be realistic.
I would give a very honorable mention to the AR.
You could be looking at Cell and Drazah right now. Like
you could be looking at that.
I would say it's equal. We had to pick one. We also picked it yesterday, so you got to keep that in mind. Like
we picked it yesterday, and Shotzi broke the hardpoint kill record, and Pred was like 7 kills behind him. They dropped 80 kills on a hardpoint together. I mean, that's like, come on, guys. They set the engagement record. I know. You guys say bias.
Just call us biased. It's
you
all
say
good.
We're biased. We'll show some love. We'll show some love to the AR duo of FaZe, but ultimately, we got to give it to these boys.
Damn right.
In my personal unbiased opinion. I think we got to give it to those boys. But that's going to be our team of the week. That's our ultimate duo of the week. Thank you guys for that. Next up,
we have the 1v2. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick.
I can't wait for this, guys.
Before